How you all doing? I was watching a lot of the Trump speeches and a lot of the presidential talks and stuff, and Trump has labeled Black Lives Matter and Antifa as terrorist organizations. In other words, if you see either one of these groups as American citizens, you can legally gun them down, and no cops could ever arrest you for it because they are classified as terrorists. And you have a right under the Constitution to protect your country. However, just because they label these people as terrorists because of the crime they commit and they cause, is it right to gun them down? Or is it the fact that we should contact the authorities and let the authorities handle it? I personally think we ought to let the authorities handle it. And as far as just because they're walking around with Black Lives Matter t-shirts on, they're supporting Black Lives Matter, which is a terrorist organization, they're supporting a terrorist organization, according to the Trump administration, or Antifa, it should be gunned down. I mean, come on, man. I'm walking down the street, you got your freedom of speech. However, you got your freedom of speech unless you support someone who is a terrorist. And if you have one of those shirts on, everybody who don't have those shirts on can gun you down. So, that's what Trump is saying. So, yeah. They call the Republicans the violent party. That's not right. That's not right. Who invented the KKK? The Democrats, the left. Who had more slaves? Who owned more slaves in the South than anyone in slavery, back in the slavery days? The Democrats. In fact, who is the biggest family? Who is the family that had the biggest slave population? Kamala Harris. And every one of her slaves were white. They didn't own one black slave. That just came out. Who is the most violent when it comes to any political? Who killed Charlie Kirk? A Democrat, the lefties. Democrats are very violent individuals, and by Trump labeling these two groups as terrorists, he's stopping the left. He's putting a kibosh on what the left is doing by going around killing people, claiming it's for American freedom. Because they killed Charlie Kirk. Why they killed Charlie Kirk? Because he didn't agree with a democratic belief. We are not living in a democracy. This is not a democracy. You know what democracy is? It's where the government tells you to do something and you do it without question. And if you question it, they kill you. That's what democracy is. A communist organization. They're communists is basically what they are. But I just thought I'd get on here and maybe get an opinion from my people watching this and tell me, is it right because these two groups are labeled terrorists, that we have a right to go out and hunt them down and gun them down as American citizens? Like I can pick up my gun if I see a group of Antifa or Black Lives Matter, I can go gun them down and nothing will happen to me. I mean, as far as legal procedures, I mean, is that right? Or should we allow the authorities to disperse them and make any arrest impossible? The Republican way. Let me know in the comments how you think we should handle this, because there's an Antifa clubhouse and a Black Lives Matter clubhouse just down the street from me. Both of them, I can walk in there with a submachine gun and start firing illegally, and I don't want to do that, and I don't, feel like doing that. I'm not that type of person, but I mean, or do I call the authorities and have the authorities take care of it? So. You let me know in the comments. Y'all have a good day.